Mayor, you can take notes on this. This is concept. This is written in 2012 back to the IRS.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, this is done with your pre-understanding and pre-comprehension of who you are and who they're not, and what's really going on in operation. You all can hear us up here, right? Keep in mind, the IRS was going after his business and his private account, all right? Now, this is to give you cognizance on how you speak to them. Also, it would indicate what you know about yourself, right? So, Oscar Hossan Il, authorized representative. So he's also, with that, demonstrating that he's authorized to the trust that is taken for granted exists. Are we clear? All right. Natural person, in propria persona sui juris, ex relation, Oscar Hossan. Now, Oscar Hossan is the trust or the estate of record that would be in government operation in relationship to the 14th Amendment straw, also to the hypothecation of all estates, all properties, all non-incorporated entities, all non-profit entities, etc., are all hypothecated to the Roman Curia under their hypothecation action of House Joint Resolution 192. All right? This is all taken for granted, and this is another reason why you must address this, because you already know what's going on. So it also indicates competence, or clear, what he addressed earlier. Care of, the reason why care of 58 Churchill Avenue is because that's not your address. You're receiving correspondence via that. So you don't just put the number, you put care of, all right? Trenton Territory. It's still Trenton City Territory. Terra brings it back to the earth. Trenton City is a private foreign corporation belonging to them. And since it's known as Trenton, you bring it back to its territorial principle, all right? So now you're dealing with, you know, the ordinance, etc., the determination of government 1787 before the adoption of the Constitution, etc. Via New Jersey State Republic. So you're bringing it back to its Republican form or proper venue. This is for your communications. Civics Box 086110 via United States Republic of North America, non-domestic, non-resident via United States mail. You can also put non-subject, as you can see on some of your correspondences. And these things are automatic. This is an automatic consciousness when you're a national of the land. Understanding that you have two orders operating. You have the legitimate republic, and then you have the crib, or what you call the shadow government, which is known as the U.S. democracy. Ignorance of that doesn't excuse you. Are we clear? So you're giving this information so you know how you should be corresponding with them if correspondence is necessary. So to whom it may concern, Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, because this is, he knows that the Department of Treasury is the Internal Revenue Department of Treasury, because the United States Department of Treasury was dissolved. Are we clear? So when they're writing you talking about Department of Treasury, they talk about their own stuff. But you're supposed to know that, being Moorish American. Do you understand? And if you don't know that, and don't indicate that you know that, they hold you as incompetent. And thus, parents patriae. That's how that's used. Keep in mind, if you don't act within your own self and your consciousness to the truth of the jurisdiction, automatically you will be classified under the 14th Amendment, and they will act accordingly. This has much to do with the negative arrogance that they demonstrate, because they know that you should know. So P.O. Box 1214, Austin, Texas 73301. I, Oscar Hossan, in ex relation, Oscar Hossan, and authorized authorized representative for Oscar Hosan. So he's speaking for the straw, he's speaking for the estate. So now he's the living, sentient being speaking for the estate. Now it's on their obligation is to present who's making the claim against the estate. And it has to be a living person. You understand? Now they have to pull up all their claims. Are we clear? And they must be valid. And they themselves must be valid. Of course, now that puts them on the spot, you see, from law, because remember, the whole relationship is trust law. All right, can you get up here and move this up? Let's see.
This is Seten.
Bring it down.
Steady.
All right, I'm going to bring this down. All right. Now, so now that was the mailing number that they had given. So Oscar Hosan, authorized representative for Oscar Hosan, artificial entity construct, received unsigned mailing dated May 21, 2012 from a mysterious person in your agency. The mailing exhibit IRS AT 12 box was received on the 24th day of May 2012 AD 1432 MC with the following caption. Notice CP 59. Notice date May 21, 2012, tax period 2010 ETC. Because it was also multiple correspondence. They were coming for actually other years too, but that major correspondence was for 210. Though they had other correspondence colluding with it, or of other earlier dates too. So this mailing has no signature of a natural living person, which indicates an inducement to fraud. First thing, remember this to the IRS. All right, please send me a complete and clear documentation signed by a natural living person exposing, explaining, revealing, and disclosing the actual and or implied relationship or relevance of your Form 1040 tax return contract that you are claiming that I did not file. And what that has to do with me, the natural person. Also, what and where can your incorporation authorization papers and documents be found? Or how can I obtain a verified copy of the same for thorough examination? As of now, it is unclear to me who you are, what nation's constitution authorizes your activities, and how can I recoup or reconvey my already lost, misgiven, misappropriated, and generally wrongfully forwarded monies, currencies, finances, and other rights and properties, all and any, which have been, by deception or other misrepresented means, transferred from myself to persons in or representing your private foreign entity, corporation, and its profiting beneficiaries, agents, collectors, and al. That's the first part. Excuse me. That's one of two. Then, looking forward for your immediate return. Now, notice the second page. Looking forward for your immediate return of my monies and or properties, etc. Take notice that this correspondence, your mailing, future correspondences will be published on the Moorish Nation publication website. Being correspondences for the public record for access to the people and all Moorish consuls for examination or informational interjection and participation for legal counsel to examine. Please send all future correspondences in care of the designated numbers placed on the mailbox indicated at the geographical location listed herein via the United States Mail. So you don't say my address, because it ain't your address. So you talk about the numbers that's on the box, located over there. Send there. All right, all correspondences sent otherwise will not satisfy quote-unquote proper service and will be deemed contrary to proper communications. I am sure that all the parties are interested in rebutting and refuting fraud and the commonly used methods of malfeasance by which such unconstitutional acts have been commonly committed through misrepresentations and by callous acts of misprision of treason and secrete. Notice to agent is notice to principal, notice to principals, notice to agent, in good faith and honor. I am, 5th day, May, Hasta Hosan, Hill, authorized representative, natural person, in propria personam, juris, explanation. Hasta Hosan, all rights reserved, UCC 1-207, 1-308, UCC 1-103. Enclosed copy mailing Internal Revenue Service, 4 pages, exhibit. IRS AT 12. Keep going down. You got the response? That's 202. Now, do you have the response from the IRS?
No, I don't have that on there.
You don't have that in there? You should put that in there.
I'll have that.
All right. Now, with the response, this was the general response from the IRS in general. That ain't so. So the IRS responded to this in kind, because you have to continue this because this is one of the most important things, and when I was in California, is one of the first thing that we went over. Ron Islam did this, the brother wrote the book out there. First thing we went over was stats, and that was primal, so very important. And as you were going over this today, you know, it just drove it home. So this ain't done. So what you need to do the response. Do the response to this. And the response was to the IRS. The IRS wrote back to him after trying to, you know, seize the company books and his private account. They said, we received your correspondence. This is the nature of it.
Oh, yeah.
Received your correspondence, information, and then they named the correspondence list. According to your information, we agree with you that you are not liable to the taxes. If there's any questions that you have, and then they gave you a correspondence number, don't fail to recognize us, call us in the future. There will be no more correspondence in this matter. Blah, blah, and that's what the close out. That's IRS. Now, this is how you're supposed to be thinking if you really understand the politics. And this is not unlike what we were talking about earlier. When you understand what the politics are and you understand who you are and who they are, that's how you're supposed to be talking to them. Because you're not the subordinate, they are. When they see that you do not speak with confidence or that you doubt yourself, you're already declared incompetent. Are we clear? And they immediately start the Christian black codes. That's where that arrogant attitude comes from. You either want to honor your mothers and fathers, or you can't enforce the common law. And keep this in mind. The nature of this, then you do CCs. You always do CCs. And the reason you do CCs is they courtesy copies. And the reason you do CCs, so if you send it to, say, to one department, and they see that nobody else has this, they bury it. Now you got to look at this with your knowledge, those of you who know. Now the mayor knows, but some of you all may not know. The Attorney General is the comptroller of alien properties. Keep in mind, under admiralty law, which is they're operating under, booty and prize, all of your estates, etc., are actually held by the Attorney General as the comptroller of alien properties under booty and prize admiralty law, occupation. And this is also where the Trading with the Enemy Act is used. All right, and this is where they hypothecate the birth certificate, the marriage certificate, original manufacturer's titles of origin, etc. So you put him on notice, right? And then, of course, the Internal Revenue Service Commissioner. And then, of course, the United Nations Human Rights Division, Geneva, Switzerland, because it's automatically an international venue. Automatically, all clear. Then the Hague International Court of Justice, then Vienna Convention, treaty violations, then to myself, Great Civil National Association of Moorish Affairs, because we are organized government. Do you understand? So they recognize you when you recognize yourself. Do you understand? This is also in the principle where they say, you're not an island. All right, Islam says.
Islam, just, you know, like you were reminding people about sending to the cardinal, you know, the Archbishop of the Archdiocese is a legate, a nuncio, a special ambassador of the Pope, and since this is where the Roman Curia is, you know, doing existence here.
Write that down, y'all. Archbishop.
Archbishop. And I know
peanut butter sandwich.
peanut butter sandwiches too. But the Archbishop, because he's the special agent for the Pope here. And since the ban of the Doctrine of Discovery, December 2014, happened, he banned that, you are to inform him or his special legate that they are in violation of the Discovery
David,
yes.
of the ending
Ban.
of the Christian doctrine of discovery, which they have been using as their delegated authority to enforce the secret treaty of Verona and the Spanish Inquisition, which is the foundation of the entire modern world's politics. And this is the operations that they've been doing, subverting the sovereignty of nations. So if you know the authority that they've been using and being more, you're supposed to know that. That's where your argument is. Your argument is not in racism, not in prejudice, it's in an international law. And you must be in your proper person to even enforce it. And this is where the common law comes in. When people are talking about the common law, and this is what happens in some of those European so-called sovereignty groups, they talk about requesting sovereignty. And then the master says to them, you can't use that constitution as a defense because you're not a party to it. As soon as they agree to be democracy, they can't be under the protection of the republic. And keep in mind, their operations here is by the covenant of the Constitution, because the land is Morocco, and the United States Corporation is a company of European guilds who were given authorization or grant to do business at Morocco. That's the treaty. And this is where Article 6 comes. All debts and engagements, agreements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be binding against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation, and all treaties made or which shall be made in pursuance thereof, say what, y'all? Shall be the supreme law of the land. So what happens to anyone of Asiatic African descent that don't know that the land is Morocco, and don't know that the United States is not a country, it's a corporation doing business at Morocco, and their language is convoluted, and they start talking about rights, that they ain't damn God. This is the key. In order for the common law, and look this up when you look at the law books, common law is that law that traces back to antiquity, to the customs and traditions of antiquity. And it protects persons and property and derives its authority entirely from those traditions and customs of antiquity. And it trumps the Roman law, the canon law, the civil law, or other systems of law. Therefore, if you understand that principle, you would understand why you must be in your proper person. Because if you're not in your proper person, you can't enforce the common law. You can't trump the Roman law and the straw construct of 1868, which SetenRa showed you earlier, comes under canon laws. And in order to trump that, you must use the common law. But in order to use the common law, You must be yourself. What did Ali say in the questionnaire? 16 says, how did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. He says, if you don't believe that the program he has for the redemption of the people and citizens are correct, go to those who know law. In law, what is one who is being oneself? In Propria Personam. You must be that to even be sejurus, to be heritage. And so in the law of inheritance, if you're not yourself, you're automatically 14th Amendment or minority. And thank you again. I want to give SetenRa and Sabrina, because I know y'all was working on that. Yes. Constructing this because it was so apropos, and you got to finish this up later. Peace, y'all. Peace.
We're going to wrap up. So we're going to hit a couple questions and we're going to wrap up. Go ahead, bro.
When did the doctrine of discovery end?
What, a couple, like 2 months ago?
December 2014.
Way back?
He declared the ending of the doctrine of discovery.
So that was him telling him to stand down from what he said.
He already told them to stand down. He already told them to stand down last year.
In the vote
In the vote to appropriate. So what we're going to do is this. Next class we'll go over the motus proprio. We'll go over the doctrine of discovery. And we'll also talk canon law and we'll talk common law. We'll do that in the next class. So once we talk those documents, then you'll understand, especially the motus proprio, you'll understand that it went, I think it was July 11th that he put it out. And then it went into effect September 2nd.
Yeah.
Was it September 2nd?
September 1st.
September 1st.
2013.
And that's when the Town was about 5 different
They all resigned.
They resigned immediately.
From the cabinet, from the federal government, they resigned. Because he told them from this point on, they're protecting them no more. Everybody that's been involved in human trafficking and all this other nonsense, you're on your own. So we'll read the multiple program, we'll talk canon law, we'll talk common law. Because common law is extremely important for us to know, but you need to know the difference in canon. Just that's by show of hands, how many people know what canon law is? All right, canon law is Roman Church law. That's the Pope.
You can say Vatican.
Vatican.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Vatican.
Thank you, Vatican. So, any other questions? Go ahead, Mike. And all and everything.
That means all the associates, that means that person, any other persons operating with them, open or secret, or associated in any manner with that matter, whether extrajudicial or present in action.
One more thing, if you want to find canon law, when you have a computer, it's called oneheaven.org.
Oneheaven.org.
If you want to find canon law, positivum, yeah.
One heaven
Is it the number
One heaven.
Yeah, O-N-E, heaven.org. You can find just about everything.
Oneheaven.org. Toronto, any questions up there? Any questions up there? Any questions, comments? Yeah. All right, so, yeah. I'll send it to you. I'll put it in the mail Monday. All right. Peace and love. Thanks for tuning in, bro. You want to do the prayer? Yeah, let's do the prayer. Anybody who wants to engage in more prayer, stand up and face each. Islam. Father of the left, what you want right? Aloud, Father of the universe. Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Aloud, my protector. And my guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Was holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Hey, one love, man. You know what it is, bro. All right, peace. A couple of quick announcements. Omar, are you still there? I want you to know that the next class that we're going to do, we're going to talk common law, canon law. We're going to talk the motu proprio and the doctrine of discovery. Before y'all leave, stop back there and see Abdullah. Abdullah got some DVDs and some books back there. Go back there, grab a couple DVDs, grab some books for the brother. And anybody who hasn't seen Dr. Rafiq, talk to him in the back for a quick minute. Peace, what's up, Omar?